white man.
Welcome to another edition of River City Youth Spot Podcast. Excuse me for messing up my words. Look, I am Ricky Simon coming to you live along with the man, Nard Brown, voice and the beats of the streets. I'm so excited for yet another episode. We are happy to come to you today because we have such a great show. For one, we are acknowledging some of our living legends during this show, and we're also going to bring on the myth, the legend, the two-time Super Bowl winning Brandon Jacobs. He's also going to join us. We're going to talk a little bit about the state of youth football. But right now we have Mr. Ivory Durham. He's going to come on, man, and we're going to show him mad love simply because this man has done some things over the years in youth football, starting out from Pop Warner and migrating into bringing that unlimited youth football here in Jacksonville, Florida. You remember when he brought it here, don't you?
Yes, I definitely do. And I mean, it changed the whole landscape of everything. So well deserved for Mr. Ivory Buddy Durham, aka Scrap. Hey man, well deserved, well deserved.
Hey, got to give him a lot of props, man, simply because of the things that the vision that God gave him years ago, and seeing how now he has taken off. And I don't know how many championships he got. What he did? 11 times, 12 times,
15 times,
20-time champion.
Nature Boy,
Nature Boy gave me 3 claps set up. Woo! So man, we're gonna bring on Mr. Ivory Buddy Durham. How you doing today, man? That's Magnum.
And Mr. Nard Brown.
What's going on now? What's going on there, Mr. Durham? How you doing?
Man, first of all, I want to say I want to congratulate you for one, for being a pillar in the community for so many years. You actually was one of the first to bring youth football, the dynamics of unlimited. Then your year one, I had the awesome blessing of being over there with you and seeing how you taught the game and how you praised the kids and how you grew. And then you also was the very first. Let me make sure everybody recognizes and understands this. Ivory was the first person to bring all these teams together from all over. Rather it being someone else, all I seen was a guy that I knew, and that was Ivory Durham. And he brought, it was at Paxson, matter of fact, the one I went to was at Paxson. And I just thought it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Then he also had his own radio station where he would tell people he'll sit in somebody's dirty kitchen just to get their child. So he done went from the radio. He done been doing all types of all-star games. Even had his own All-American game in Jacksonville and down south. I think it was in Sarasota, man. So this is not an honor and let's make sure we add 11 national championships. That is the most in this city of Jacksonville, Florida. So we want to make sure that we recognize you, honor you, give you the blessings and the props that you so deserve, because a lot of people do look past the foundation in which you have built on. And we just want to say thank you, man. So, man, we just, I don't want to keep rambling, but, how you feel about, for one, being nominated and being the recipient on May 6th of that Living Legend Award.
It's a privilege. It's an honor. But this is a joint effort with Claude Wright and Sarmita Durham and Radical Right and a bunch of more people that stood up in the paint when it was time. Even yourself, Mr. Simon. So it's a lot of people that had a lot to do with that. As far as winning, that's just what God wanted at the time. I mean, it's winning. But the ultimate goal is, once again, what you've been doing for a long time, and you've continued to do is the overall goal is to make sure that these kids are finding an outlet to do something responsible, and just try to do things the right way, because a lot of times nowadays we've got to the point where we glorify winning over the overall objective is to make sure that our kids are guided and led in the right direction. And that's the over part as far as life, being a man, being responsible, being respectful. We've seemed to got out of that. The overall who did this and who did that, it really don't mean nothing to me. I mean, I like to win, but at the end of the day, for all of us to get along and do the right thing and understand who we are and stop bickering and whining about this and this and that. That's the overall objective for me, is for everybody to be on one accord so that these kids can see the direction that most men should go in. And, everybody have their own individual guidelines of what they do. But, I try to tell everybody, we ain't perfect. You try to put God first. That's the way I was raised. And everybody ain't going to like you, and everybody ain't going to get along with what you're trying to do. But my era in my day, I'm a lot older than most. So people don't understand the way I am. I think I'm about 7, 8 years older than you, Ricky? Yeah. So, people, I'm close to, I'll be 50 this year, but, the younger age really don't understand the way we were raised up with the Coach Salmons and the Coach Roaches and the Coach Rabbits and the Butch Mac McCrae's. I mean, it's just over and over and over and over again of what we need to learn and what we need to get back to being family orientated in anything that we do. And if we don't get back to that, everybody stop being so selfish and think that it's all about them. Our kids are going to remain to suffer. So, as far as me bringing something here, I was just a vessel that God put here at the time to finish some of his work, to give most of our native of Jacksonville, I don't want to say black, but I say our natives of Jacksonville, options to be business owners, to have their own business, to take pride in something, to build character in their name, and then put certain things on their name. So as far as me being a pioneer, no, what I probably did along with Claude Wright and like I say, Sarmita Durham and Radical Right, is that I was just more of a voice that wasn't scared to speak out and challenge what I say was the beast at the time. And by doing that, it has given a lot of us natives an opportunity to run programs, which typically in the Pop Warner world, we wouldn't have never had that opportunity. And I'm not, and I don't want to even boast or brag on none of that, but my time is up, and we have new guys that's coming in that's going to continue to trend, but we got to make sure that we teach them the proper way to lead this, because if we don't learn the proper way to lead it, it's going to die out fast, because just the way that we move now has to be a little different. And I can go and ramble on all day long, but if we don't put God first, a lot of stuff is not going to be successful. We bicker and fight amongst each other all the time, but and that's just nature. But at the end of the day, we got to start really meaning what we say by leading the youth. Because we talk it all day long about how we're gonna lead them, but then we go back the next day and do something opposite. We talk about each other, we bicker, we keep it under the rug, and those things, it's not right. I watch what's going on. I like what you're doing. I like where you've come. I like how far you going, and we got too many chiefs out here. You know, somebody got to be the Indian every now and then. And like I tell people, I say I've been the chief. I know what it feels like to be a chief, but I've been a pretty good Indian. So until we learn that and understand that things, it's going to be hard for us to get better until we understand it. You ain't going to always be the Floyd Mayweather. You know, Floyd retired. Now we got them young bucks coming up. So, and the young bucks got to respect the old guy. You know, every now and then when you see the old guy say, hey, man, you know, I ain't got no problem with you. Give me a bag of popcorn. Let me sit down and watch the game. You know, when I line up against you, you ain't got to always want to beat me bad. I'm old now. You know, so, until we understand that, you know, and I hate to throw this in, I finally whooped Cal Jones the other day, beat him 38-0. Made me feel real good, but you know, and I had to respect him. But you got to respect. You have to respect the old guy, because without the old guy, ain't no young guy.
Right.
You know, and until we understand that, you know, it's a chain of command on everything, man. You know, you got to respect, even though the old guy may be a grouchy guy, he may be set in his ways. He may want to sit in the front of the bus. You let him sit in the front of the bus. Here you go, old school, sit in the front of the bus. Because there's going to come a time that you're going to have to sit in the front of the bus. Somebody, you don't want to jump on the old guy all the time. You know, let the old guy have his way a little bit. You know, as long as he's respecting you.
I think we know a lot about the bus, man, and Black Bottom. Have a Sunday school.
Let Deacon Creech have his seat. Ricky Simon, don't take Deacon Creech's seat. You know, so,
hey, for y'all that don't know, as much as me and my brother go back and forth, we go back to 1987.
No, it's a little longer, younger than that.
No, you older than me.
Well, I am older than you.
So I got to St. Joseph in 1987.
Oh, see, I was there in 80. I was there in 77.
Yeah, you was way before me. So when we went from the Black Bottom to First Street, and I can remember I'm coming out the beginners class. Scrap was in the primary class, right? So this was the crazy part. I was the bad one in the beginners class. He was the bad one in the primary class. So I don't know if it was Young Shepherd class, whatever it was. All I remember is them whooping somebody and they falling out the door. So everybody else was scattering. And I'm like, this, ooh, they fighting. So for me being a Brentwood dude, that was entertaining, you know, but it's like, you can't do that at church. And I was like, why not?
Why not?
I have no church etiquette whatsoever. Now, even in saying that, still to this day, I preach that to people right now. Everybody don't have the etiquette in wherever you are. So, like you just said, if you're not willing to teach it to the next generation, no one's ever gonna learn. And I can tell you this, man. I got stories upon stories, but I'm just elated and happy that God touched my heart to make sure that not another year passed, not another time passed, not just on no phone call, but people can see this publicly, and all the people that's tuning in even now. And we normally get over the thousands of viewers, but just publicly to say that I'm very proud of you, very proud of your accomplishments, what you've done in your life, setting goals, setting standards. You went from not only winning in the park, but you won your first state championship at your school. So you classified as a bona fide winner, man, in everything that you do. But I'm going to tell you this too. I'm going to go even further than that. You are nothing without Sarmita Jenkins. You are absolutely nothing without your wife. And the reason I say that, man, and I said this in church before, that is one of the most supportive women I've ever met in my life. And she is a true definition of a supporter, of a real, and I got to do nothing but give her props. I always gave her props because I always liked the way she moved. Wherever you move, she moved. And she's right there with you. And then you look at this. The leadership in which you've shown not only in your household has now gone over into your son. And I mean, your son, your baby boy has your middle, because you got Jordan, he got another quarterback in the house, man. It's just one FEU Top Gun. But what HJ has done with signing on, playing pro football, and I mean, just looking at him when he was young, some stuff you're not surprised about. So when I saw that, quite naturally, the first thought I had in my mind was, this kid who's at Valdosta State beat the kid that's playing for the New England Patriots when he was at Reigns. Huh. However, that's just my way of thinking. So that should go. That go to boss lady right there. That go to boss lady right there. But just to see everything in your development, and the boss lady know how to cook. You know, she ladies. He don't cook nothing. He don't cook nothing. That's it. He do TikTok dances with his new joy. So man, we do have another guest. I can talk to you the whole show. But brother, I appreciate you. I applaud you. You got a professional son. That means you absolutely suck, because you ain't making out of baseball. But your son is a pro. You finna be a Canadian. I know if it was me, I'm already gone. We already there. We stay next door to each other. But I know that's got to be a great feeling, man. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the family and everything that you've accomplished for building the foundation that so many of us are reaping the benefits off of, that people need to know. Yeah, Claude gonna get his flowers. I got a whole nother announcement for him, because he was definitely a pioneer in this unlimited thing. But we just want to say thank you, good brother, and just know this won't be the last show you'll be on, man.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Durham, if I could say, I love the humbleness approach, but from River City, from my boss man, from all of us, man, like he say, thank you, but you are a pioneer, you are a face. You know?
Thank you, good brother. Hey, man, I'll be calling you soon.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And guys, with that, man, we have the legendary, and I say legendary because he is receiving the Living Legend Award, Ivory Buddy Durham, who we can certainly appreciate. And now we have our next segment. We have no commercial, so we're going straight through this thing. We have our next segment with the one and only two-time Super Bowl winning, biggest running back to ever tote the tater. He ran over Sean Taylor, the great Sean Taylor, and is still making the NFL Network to this day. He even came out maybe a year or so ago, and my brother say, I'm better than Tim Tebow. I'm coming back as a defensive end. And he was dead serious. And he was dead serious, man. So without further ado, we have Brandon Jacobs. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, my good brother. I can't complain. Just happy to be above the soil. That's all.
I know that's right, man. So the last time we talked, and I know we talk often, but the last time we talked, you now have moved to the Mecca of Georgia, with this beautiful facility. Lord have mercy. He showed me the pictures of their weight room. Unreal. Nothing
else can compare, match, come close.
You can't even put no schools together compared to what they got. It's not even a comparison. So I mean, I can truly say, man, he making major moves for his son. And if you guys don't know, his son is 49th ranked in the nation.
Yeah. I think it's like 51st or something like that.
I like 49th better. I like 49th better. He's the best. He's the best in the nation. He's 6'7", so he's outgrown his father. And he is what I'd look at as a gentle giant. But on the football field, he a man child. And to have that pro background from his dad, it means everything. So, man, if you will, man, tell us about you, what you got going on, and then tell us about all the things you got going on with your son.
You know, Rick, well, you know me, man. I work with ESPN radio. I got that going on. Just going through this recruiting thing. I do camps. I work camps with Rivals in Under Armour, in the UC Report. I do a lot in the recruiting game. Got some great relationships out there. That's it, man. I'm just doing this, just doing very minimal. Come around. It's gonna be my first year without having my football program, which I'm kind of happy about that, but sad at the same time because I built so many relationships, with a lot of families and stuff like that all going to separate places now. So Things is great, man. It's real good on my end. I got my kids to worry about. That's it, man. Just going through this recruiting season with my boy.
Man, it looks like a lot of fun, man. But as we spoke on earlier, we're gonna talk about the state of youth football.
Mm-hmm.
The state of youth football. And I know earlier, I mean, you had a conversation and whatnot, but let's just talk about that real quick. Let's freestyle. Now, what is your take on the state of youth football?
Right now, looking at it, the state of youth football is it's going downward. It's going downward, and the first thing I can say, and I'm gonna stand on that, is the parenting. Coming up, I remember a lot of times, a lot of us, we came up, we didn't have a male figure, per se in our lives because of criminal backgrounds or any different things. Nowadays, you got more of the dads being active, the uncles, the grandparents, the granddads, whatever, whatnot. But they are daddy ballers, and for the moms who are still participating in it, it's rubbing off on them, and they becoming mama ballers, and it's crazy. It's sad to me on my end.
And from your perspective, BJ, how you look at that, man?
The culture of youth football is disgusting. I wouldn't say the state of it, just the culture, the overall kids doing all that cussing and all that stuff going on now. So a lot of these coaches are just big kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these coaches are just big kids, and because they win games and do things, they get all the best kids to come play for them because they're not grown up yet, and they know there's not going to be any structure. Not going to be no structure. Our coach gonna let us cuss. He gonna let us fight. He gonna let us do all this other crazy stuff, and that's that. And gonna say, well, they're young boys. We winning and we doing this and we doing that. I just think the way things are going and the way these kids are being taught, guys are loading up these one football team. Kids driving 5, 6, 7 hours away to play on this one team. For what? It's just killing us, just killing you football, man. Like, kids driving, from all this way to come play football. They don't even come to practice during the week. They show up at the game. I don't think that's the way you want to, as a coach, for your kids that's there every day to see. Your kids, the kid know he had practice every day, but this kid come in on Saturdays only, and he getting all the play. And I think, parents who's living check to check, you got single moms, you got single dads out there who can't really afford to do a whole lot of this stuff, but they got a really good kid, and people will make them think that they're supposed to be on a national level because their kid is good. But you ain't think about this flight to California or to Louisiana or this hotel room or got to pay to eat and to feed yourself and feed your kid while on the road, and now you beneath your budget now. Now you got to try to find a way. You got something got to go without being paid, and so on and so forth. I just think it's a whole bunch of. I just think the culture of youth football, what these parents got, they got to go through because they're gonna do what they need to do for their kid. A single parent is gonna do whatever they need to do for their kid, whether he or she can afford it or not. That's just what it is. I think youth football now has become a big time inconvenience for parents. We do our All-Star event, but that's at the end of the year. It's at the end of the year, and we've seen that has kind of dropped off, with teams coming in because a lot of parents weren't interested because they're paying to go fly all over the country to go play football. Now, one thing they're not going to do is All-Star at the end of the year, which is fine. I get it. You got to pick your poison, but that's one place, and whatever they want to do, like that's cool. I will always continue to support all kids in their dream of becoming somebody, but I mean, just some of the coaches that's in youth football now, man, and just doing stuff the way they do it and coaching the kids the way they coach kids. Man, if I got a son and I want him to play on somebody's team and I don't want to coach him, I'm going to make sure his coach is a strong leader. I want to be his coach is a strong leader, a family dude that got something, that got a job, that can show my kid how to do something more than just play football. And that's just me. That's just the way I'm doing. I'm not shooting the coaches down that don't have jobs. I'm not shooting the coaches down that don't have families. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying for my liking as a father, I know what I'm teaching my kid. So I want him to be coached by a coach that kind of got the same value.
I totally agree with everything you said, especially about the value of a coach. If I got someone who's not doing what I'm doing and displaying the acts and characteristics and mannerism, I don't want my child around them. Mm-hmm. And quite naturally, looking at this youth football, and you say to yourself, okay, I think several years ago, CNN did a special, and on the special, it was talking about the I think it was down south,
Right.
the racketeering, the betting, the
and stuff.
gambling,
Right.
how bad it had got. Because now it's all about, okay, I need you to make me money, not I need you to teach the game of football. Now, not to say everybody mentally is there, but it just seemed like, let's stack up our teams, let's go to these different tournaments, let's go bet big, and let's win big. Since I started doing youth football, that's just something I ain't never been a part of. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not knocking nobody that do it, that's their business, but you can't come around me gambling on no kids, because if you get upset, I know what money involvement can
What
do.
it brings. Right.
I mean, hey, you got people losing their life, man, over a couple dollars and over a bet. And why? You football. And then all this traveling, all these promises that you're promising people, you come over here, I'm gonna give you this. You know how needy you look? Like it's so bad that you're tearing down what youth football was all about. At least when I was coming up. Okay, it was $20 a plate. My mom couldn't afford it. I went and cut grass, lawnmower, $2-3 a yard. When it got my money, got my helmets, didn't care what the uniforms looked like.
Right.
We was the Falcons. The jersey said the Saints, the Rattlers. We ain't care. We just wanted to play football. So
Yeah.
they
I
have
ain't
this.
cutting no grass for no $3-4 though, Rick.
Say it again. I mean, you're talking about the 80s now. You're talking about.
Oh man.
I was charging, Bishop said it was still 10 to 12. I was charging $3. And if you wanted me to get the grass up, I need $8.
That's real.
I'm in Brentwood. Everybody.
Where was you at?
I was in the.
Glad you stayed in your neighborhood.
Yeah, you had to get it. I get it. I get that.
I
No
was in the
question.
gutter. Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm gonna undercut you like a mud.
Oh yeah, I get it, bro. I get it. Trust me. It's just the state. Like what I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff, man. I sit back and I watch these groups.
Say something.
Kids coming from all over the country to go play on these different teams, bro. And it don't even mean nothing. It don't mean nothing as far as your recruitment. It means nothing as far as your recruitment. You might have some coaches say, well, I got a relationship with coaches. And that, man, they don't care about what a kid do. 9, 10 years old, 11, 12. They don't care about that. They do not care about that. And I just
What though, PJ? To add to that, not to cut you off, just to interject, as Eldrick George just said, these fake rankings got people going crazy.
Yes.
Fake rankings. The reason you fake is like you just alluded to earlier. If I'm putting an all-star team together during the season, right, and I'm going to play a team preseason, and you say, oh, I ain't got my quarterback, my running back, my wide receiver, my linebacker. Well, what about the kids you got on the field? Now you got to go and pay for some more.
Right.
So then at the end of the year, now I got a real all-star team. I'm gonna go to battle. That ain't football.
Right.
So many parents that I've talked to over the years, the first thing come out their mouth is, these cats can't coach. If they don't have the talent, they can't coach.
Needed someone with the talent still don't complete the mission. So
can't coach.
Get it done. Where's the loyalty for the ones that done stuck with you and been there? You know, like you saying, Mr. Simon, and like Mr. Jacob said, like, you know, if you want your child around a coach, a mentor, he should have some type of dignity behind himself.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct.
He's setting an example for your son who's growing up to be a man one day.
Read that for me, Bishop. What did Deontay Gordon say?
It starts with coaches. They don't want to teach the kids. They just want to ride with the stud to win.
You heard that, BJ? It starts with the coaches. They don't want to teach. They just want to ride the studs. How many teams have you witnessed just want to ride the studs and not coach?
Oh man, I've seen a lot of teams stud it up. Like when my oldest son was young, we had some teams that had some really good players. But I don't think right now, back then, compared to some of these teams now, they got national travel every weekend. So they got to get the best kids. And some of these people think they want their kids to be in that kind of smoke when they realize in this week 6, week 7, they done spent $4,000-$5,000 on going to trips and playing football. They like sit back and look like, you know, and some of the culture, man, I'm telling you, the culture is messed up. You got kids that belong to single, like single moms, right? These kids are going to school because of what they're seeing at practice, or see what they're hearing from another kid at practice. If you had a place with no structure, then your kid picking up bad habits. You're picking up bad habits. That's why I say for my kid, I want my kid to play with somebody that's just like me, right? I want that dude to have a family. I want the guy to have a, not all gonna say family, but gotta have a life. Gotta have something to go to. You can't just have youth football and that's it. That's not enough to be a part of my kid's growth.
Solidarity is everything, and when you have that foundation of a structure, then that really pushes pushes the envelope to the teaching of the kids in front of you. And a lot of these cats don't have that solidarity of structure, being organized. A family structure is beautiful because the first thing you're looking at is the man. Everybody always allude to there wasn't a man around. So we believe in a family structure, and that's why a lot of those parents, those women, bring them to a coach in a masculine physique because they know one thing. And not knocking these women, because some of these women do a great job, but they know one thing.
I feel bad for single women out there with kids, like with boys.
Oh man,
football, man, I do. You got to pay all this money that they ain't got. You know, some of them get hit on by the coaches, and it's just bad business, man. Just all the way around. It's just bad, man. I wish youth football would come back. You know, have a team, 8 or 9 studs, play against another team with 8 or 9 studs. Let's coach. Like let's coach and see how it work out. You know what I mean? But more power to everybody. If they feel like they're helping the kids develop, you know, and do all of this stuff, then you know, so be it. But just for fun, I just think it's a whole big inconvenience just to say you won something.
I agree. And Chuck Hinton also said it need to be like it used to be, which Chuck, we completely agree with that, because the biggest thing is we would love for it to be like it used to be. And I can truly say this, and I can speak only towards this. This is why what I have up here, this brand River City, is built on the community. I'm so big on trying to get every park back running like it used to be. You had an association at every park, and that brings pride in the community. When I'm at Jefferson Street, and you don't know where it's at, BJ, but I'm gonna tell you this: when I'm at Jefferson Street, which is in the hood, when we outside practicing, the people come out, sit on the porch, chairs out. Exactly. They may not have no kid that participate with us, but that's the time for them to come out. They start grilling. We have a whole row of our folks on the grill. They drinking, having a good time, watching the kids, encouraging the kids, just having a good one. Coach, when you get done, boy, I got you one. We ain't no national team. We ain't no national park, but we are a community park. And that's when I let the kids know this is what's important right here. And look at all of these studs, Mr. Brown. Right. Even in this great city of Jacksonville that we have witnessed, and as you said, no loyalty, no next kid up. Right, you're right, Devontae. But what happened to the studs when they get to school ball? You hear maybe 5%.
That stays at. The rest of them kind of twinkles out.
Because they're not being coached the right way. They're not learning the fundamentals of the game. You're just on the team with a team full of studs. There's not much, you know, it's football. These kids want to play football. They know how to play football. Right. I don't want to take anything, but you got a bunch of studs on one team, you're gonna win.
You're not going to win.
And, you know, they suffer in the development part because they are studs. Feel like they ain't got to go through individual and learn how to use your hands. Feel like you ain't got to, you know what I'm saying, learn how to go angle tackling. Feel like you ain't got to learn how to protect the football when you're running. Like some of these coaches get to practice, stretch, and scrimmage. Go offense, get defense for an hour and a half.
It's absolutely no individual. I'm gonna challenge every coach. If you coach football and you watching us, and even if you look at us later on, man, when you break from stretching, please go into individuals. Please go into individual. Teach your running backs that go through running back drills, go through receiver drills, have the linemen. And even if you say, well, you know, I'm the only coach. Well, what is structure? I have been the only coach, and I've had all of my drills already laid out. And after literally going through repeated courses with my kids, after 1 week, they already know the drill. Get to your individual stations and let's get it. And we probably gonna scrimmage, but I call it situational scrimmage. Why I call it situational scrimmage? Because every coach is involved. We're gonna critique what every position is doing, when it happened. And a lot of times I got to Coach George Cooper at my park. Coach George Cooper will run and run and run and run. They know him as Pedro. He gonna run his kids. Some of the parents be like, well, where he gonna put the plays in? He said, what's the purpose of putting in the plays if they're not conditioned?
Man, condition. What's the purpose of telling you a defensive scheme when you don't know how to tackle? What's the difference in telling you all? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no, it's crazy. Yeah,
You gotta be fundamentally sound.
I got a challenge for the coaches, as you just said, that's watching. By the end of the season, regardless if you make the playoffs, regardless if you're playing in whatever postseason you have, or if it's helmets to the left, shoulder pads to the right, whatever player was an MPR player on your team, by the end of the season, that player should be a player that you can trust to go in the game and fill in for one of your studs if he or if she is down or need a breather. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see that.
Okay, bro. Hey, my boy, as y'all all know, BJ is on the go. He ESPN, he big time, man. He big. So I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. I appreciate you, just having a chance to get my thoughts out there, man. What I've been thinking about youth football. My son's in the 8th grade now. He playing for Buford. We ain't doing all the crazy traveling. We focusing on high school now. I think about 7th grade is when I think people should start really putting their kid in position that to do stuff on where they're gonna play high school ball and and get stuff like that. I'll be at least round, like start focusing on the bigger stuff. So. We over here in Buford now, man. We really enjoying it. The kids having fun at school. Got one that got high school and got one going to 8th grade. It's a great program, so I can't complain about it, man. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. And let's double back.
Definitely, bro. I'll give you a call, bro.
All right, y'all be easy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that was just the great, and I always give my brother props, man. The great Brandon Jacobs. Now the ideal is this, guys. You got somebody who not only played in the league, but starred in the Super Bowl. Okay. Aldrich said something. The head coaches, please have a plan, a practice plan, which is outstanding. Listen, when you have a guy who's made it to the top where you're trying to get your kids, the ideal is to listen to the simple advice. Okay. I'm not telling y'all what not to do. If you want your kid on the stack team, cool. If your kid may not ever develop into nothing, but if that's what you want it, so be it. All I'm saying is make sure that every coach that your kid is influenced by is actually teaching the game of football. This is not directed at anybody just solely in Jacksonville, because as you guys know, our social media platform go throughout this county, surrounding counties, and other states. So you have people listening, and a lot of people gonna say, you're absolutely right, Rick. I gotta better my game. Not deplete my bank account. Where all the best kids. I said years ago, give me all the bench riders. Give me all the NPR players. And they was like, oh, Rick. When people yell out either my name, or they beat Ricky Simon, or FLA, I get excited. Why? I rather develop. If you beat me and you got a better squad, thumbs up to you. But I guarantee you this. I bet you my kids make it farther than your kids. I bet you that part, because they are going to be developed. When I look at high school now and I see all the kids that I had the opportunity to teach, I see them in starting positions or they in role positions because they're being taught. And then it's a word called potential. Everybody is not at 5 stars. Thank you, Andre Sellers. Plan and prepare. You're absolutely right. Andre Sellers, who's been a great pillar at Grand Park for years and years and years. His baseball team had a great victory last week. I think it was last week, but he's been doing it for a long time, man. Andre Sellers, who is a quiet giant,
Right. Yes, he is.
a beautiful-hearted
Yes, he is.
coach who love the kids and love what he do. Thank you.
Very
We're
good.
actually honoring his president at the Junior ESPY Awards as a living legend, Ronnie Myrick. So we're going to make sure that we try to get all of our living legends on the show. But just the state of football prior to us closing out for today. There go my brother Pedro Drosky, my president Ricky FLA Simon on that sideline, sir. Oh, I know you. You don't have a choice. I bet you he laughing right now. You don't. Put me in right quick, focus, Bishop. Put me in focus. Listen to me, George Cooper. I know your legal name. You don't have a choice at all. Okay? Eat that, Pedro Drosky. But Chuck, give me a team of kids that want to learn the game and let's make it do. Chuck, you're excited right now. You right. Look, Chuck turned up. But guys, teach the game of football. And if you guys don't know, even with Pedro, that's been brothers since dirt, call each other dirt because we come out the dirt, been knowing each other so long. But let me tell y'all something. His sons no longer play football, right?
Right, correct.
His oldest boy, Ace Daquan, graduated from University of Florida. Bishop, he graduated in 3.5 years. Already got his master's. Right? His youngest boy, BG, is killing Florida State.
Right.
Honor roll. Honor roll now. So teaching goes well beyond the football field.
Right.
Oh yeah. I just said teaching go beyond the football field. And look, we have a Hall of Famer who's going to be inducted into the River City Hall of Fame this year. James Graham is president of Arlington Seminoles. Coaches need to invest in clinics. I totally agree. The Glacier Clinic, which I went to a couple years ago in Orlando, Florida, myself and Tim Terry, vice president of FLA Vikings, we had a ball. And I think Tim Terry and T. Holland actually went this year to the Glacier Clinic. And I'm going to see if I can invite them here if we can get enough participants. But when I tell you, there's all types of clinics out there, man, for you to better yourself. Because how can you lead? It's a beautiful thing when you can go to these schools and see your kids as they develop. Arlington is big on doing that. I've seen them at Terry Parker game. Oh, y'all got over here? Nobody, kids that we coach.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Supporting, even when they're not even in the park anymore. So that's what the whole idea of coaching is. Not, I got 5 bands for you, shouty.
Need you like bill paid?
I ain't paying your bills. If you don't want to get it from the dirt and get it honestly and let your kid work for it, he's never gonna work for nothing in his life if you give him everything. So the idea of it is, man, we appreciate the coaches. Let me first say that we thank you for all the volunteers. We thank all the team moms because they are always left out. But just like I was giving props to Miss Armida Jenkins earlier for being a supporting wife, to her husband, to the 11, 12-time champion, Ivy Durham, the team moms are so heavily supported when it comes to these coaches, and we appreciate you. We thank all of you guys for tuning in each week. And as I stated, I'm going to say it now. I sent out a formal invitation to Mayor Hopeful, Donna Deegan, and Mayor Hopeful, Daniel Davis, not to talk politics. All I want them to do is come on the River City Sports Podcast, and I want to discuss if and whom when, whichever one it may be. What are your plans for Parks and Rec? What are your plans for the youth of the city? I've seen quotes where one said that they are going to invest in the after-school programs, in our parks, but I want to know details. That's it. Exactly. I just want to know details, and I think even the followers that are soliciting these votes, they want to know as well. Right. So with that being said, the invitation has already been sent out in the form of an email, and I will certainly look forward to you guys reaching out to me because I'm telling you, I'm excited to hear from you all. But thank you all for tuning in today on another episode of River City Sports Podcast. I can appreciate you, and I'm pretty sure my wife is watching it because when I get home, babe, you was very energetic. Good job. It's like a checkoff that I got to go through, man. Like you did. Look, listen. Tell Bishop that the commercials was a little hidden last time. I said, okay, I let him know. So I hope I did good. But Brother Brown, you got any closing remarks, brother?
No, only thing I want to say is May 6th, 6:30. Hey, it's going down. You know what I'm saying?
Junior Espy Award.
Junior Espys. Be there.
Be there, man. We're gonna invite Bishop to come. He ain't gonna preach, but he gonna give a prayer that you're gonna think he preached. But we definitely appreciate each one of you guys for tuning in. Till next time, be blessed. I pray that you present who you represent, and as I always say, try to represent the Lord at your best ability. We out. See you next week.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Tony Hill, and I want to tell you about a men's summit that we're having titled "Something is Going Wrong in the Field." We're going to address with men's that day, Saturday, April 22nd. We're going to talk about health, wealth. We're going to talk about civic engagement. We're going to talk about criminal justice, and we're going to have a piece on faith. Please come out and join.
This conference will feature retired NFL football player Jane Shaq Harris and Terry T. Harris, the comedian. The event will be for 2 days. Day 1 will be at Temple Gym at 6:30 p.m. for an evening of comedy. The second day will be located at Post 197 from 10 o'clock to 4 p.m. To sign up, go to Eventbrite or give us a call at 904-705-5182.
Do you enjoy helping people? Are you able to give good advice? Maybe you should develop that skill. You should become a life coach. Take a class 1 day a week for 90 minutes for 12 weeks in the comfort of your home and become a certified life coach. Or maybe you are currently a life coach. We can help you monetize your business with our training. A new virtual class is starting soon in Jacksonville. Learning to become a life coach. For more information, go to www.powercoach.info or call 904-719-6324. If you are already a life coach and want to take it further, ask our counselors about our new Training the Trainers coaching program and become certified to teach life coaches.
Listen, ladies, let me introduce you to Shakay's Boutique. Listen, I got what you need. Listen, ladies, I cater to all, but my specialty is my plus size ladies. Listen, ladies, I have those small handbags. Listen, ladies, I also have lashes. Yes, lashes on the go. Listen, ladies, you like those fluffy lashes? Holla at your girl. Listen, because I got what you need. Listen, ladies, Shakay's Boutique got what you need. Stop by, get a business card. Listen, holla at me because I got what you need, ladies. Follow Shakay's Boutique.
Are you looking for a state-of-the-art facility to have your latest conference or retirement party? Do you need a space that can accommodate small or medium-sized events? The HC Multicultural Center is the perfect place if you need to accommodate 20 to 150 people for an intimate celebration. Our facility has a cafe with a beautiful lobby with robust parking. We have a 15-foot LED wall and a digital sound system to accommodate for live recordings, not forgetting our sophisticated live stream, 4K, and 6K camera setup. If you need to accommodate 100 plus people for a large meeting, it is the perfect place for your multicultural event with a friendly staff waiting to serve your needs. When you want it done with class, do it with the HC Multicultural Center.
Hey family, I'm Bishop Jackson. Many of you have been catching me and following me for years on the mornings as I come with a word from the Lord. Every morning there is something on my Facebook, and people have been telling me for years, Bishop, I wish you could give us more than just what you do on Facebook. Well, finally, I have heard your cry, but God's speaking to me. He told me to come on every morning. And so every morning at 8 o'clock, Morning Inspirations. We do our prayer line first, and then I'll be on for Morning Inspirations at 8 o'clock. Can you join me at 8 o'clock for a word from the Lord? That's that pick you up to help bless your day. I believe I've got the word to shift your life.